I just tried a recipe that actually got me off my butt and making a new recipe. Hey there, my name is Rebecca. I am a physician. I have lost 72 pounds on a whole foods plant-based diet with exercise. Shout out to Shane and Simple because he is the inspiration for this. I changed a little bit of stuff, mainly from my laziness, but it was his recipe that I am pretty much 90% following. It is for chicken salad. So we're gonna get to the making of this by someone who is not a chef, i.e. me. Okay, first thing we are going to do. This is about halfway full up. This is 4-cup container. So I honestly am just gonna use this as my measuring. And we are gonna take the dry soy curls and we're just gonna pop them into another bowl. Then took a handy dandy hot pot. I am gonna measure 3 cups into just a measuring cup. And then got the bouillon. The bouillon I'm using is no chicken, chicken base. You may be able to find it at the grocery store. I think I get them by like the 6-pack at Amazon. And I usually do it to color. So I started out with about a teaspoon because color typically indicates the strength of the bouillon. And that's a skosh light for me, so I am adding maybe another half a teaspoon. And so it turns into about that color. And then we are just gonna pour the hot water onto said soy curls. And we're just gonna let them sit and marinate for, it says 15 minutes. We'll be back. Hey guys, so sorry if I sound breathy, I just got off the bike. But this is what the soy curls are gonna look like after probably about an hour and 10 minutes, which as you can sort of see, they're just kind of nice and squishy, and honestly they feel like meat, so hopefully that is not a problem for you. So I'm going to drain it. I'm not gonna wash it because I don't want it to lose flavor, but I'm gonna pour this in and I'm gonna drain it. And then I may take a little bit of water, or actually I'm probably just gonna take my hand. When it doesn't look like there's any more fluid in there, you're going to take the clean portion of like a bowl and you're just gonna press it down. Sorry you cannot see it from the side, but I'm just pressing down a little bit on the top because you just kind of want to push a little bit more of the fluid out because you don't want it super soppy. That's what they look like. And sincerely, like I said, if I didn't know that it wasn't chicken, I could probably be convinced. It smells like it. It looks like little strips of chicken, but it is all just seitan, just soy curls. So, yep, that's gonna be the end for step 1, and we're gonna start working on step 2. So next thing is to cut up the grapes, apple, onion, and well, the celery is already cut up, but y'all don't need to see me do that. Okay, everything's all chopped up. You can see onion down there, and there is celery on the bottom. Trust me. Now, part 3, we're gonna do the mayonnaise. Okie dokie, part 3 of the recipe. So we are gonna take that shelf-stable tofu. It gives you directions on what, just like opening them. There's like maybe a teaspoon, tablespoon of like fluid around it, a little water. So I just drain that off and then we get it out. And that's what it looks like. So yeah, I'm just gonna use my Ninja blender and it is 12.3 ounces, standard size for it. Then we have a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then I will also say, I don't measure a lot of things. So and with this, I'll probably go a little light on it because I don't like it quite as tart, but I also don't measure things. And then calls for apple cider vinegar next. With both lemon juice and apple cider vinegar, I opted just to use lemon and not actually do the apple cider. Then we call for mustard, teaspoon of this. Honestly, if I go a little high on the mustard, I also don't care because I like mustard more than I like the tart stuff. And you're like, mustard can be tart. It can be tart, which is another reason to leave out the apple cider vinegar. So anyway, I think of cooking as a chemistry experiment, which I was a chemistry major. Then we are gonna take garlic powder. So as you can see, I got the big mama from the Costco. Also, it's garlic. I'm not really gonna measure. So it calls for 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And if you wanted to use like the stuff from the jar, the garlic, that'd be fine too. And then onion powder is the next one, and it calls for half a teaspoon of that. And like I said, I have linked the recipe below. This is all Shane, not me, except for, you know, where I'm fiddling around with it. Then the next thing is salt. Basically it's salt to taste, but they're saying 1/4 teaspoon of it. So I'm just gonna do a little tiny bit. You can obviously always add more if you would like. And then we are going to take water, but it's like 1/4 to a half a cup of water to the consistency that you want, which is sort of like a thin yogurt. So y'all don't need to hear all the smoothie machine going and everything. So we'll come back, show you the consistency, and we are gonna put it, I transferred everything to this bowl. You can see the little chicken strips. I did kind of like pull apart the big ones, just like you do with meat, honestly. And then apple, celery, onion, and grape. So this is sort of the consistency. You know, sort of like a mayonnaise consistency. Sorry. So you are not gonna use all of this on this unless you really, really want to. And what I have done is just take the remainder of it and keep it in the refrigerator for, it probably stay good for like a week. I'm actually gonna use it for things like dip for my air fried French fries that I do in the air fryer, or I even used it sort of almost like a sour cream on a pumpkin curry last night, and it was tasty. So we're gonna get this put together and I'll show you what it looks like. I do not have a chef's kitchen. I do not have every little tool. So I'm just normal. Okay, and just to finish it up, I know you're looking at this thing and that sucker is huge, but it's gonna live in the refrigerator and it'll be good for, honestly, I think the last one I had was in there maybe 3 or 4 days. So this is sort of the consistency that I went with it. Like there's sauce on everything, but it is not like covered in sauce. And like I said, I'm just gonna put it in like one of those big square Rubbermaid containers and eat off of it. I could put it on salad greens if I wanted. I could, I guess, eat potatoes with it if I thought about it. Or like I said, I could just eat it with a spoon if I thought. But full of fruit and veggies, lots of fiber and protein, and super good and kind of refreshing, especially in the middle of winter when we just had like this major ice storm last weekend. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I am 72 pounds down now. So if you want to subscribe, come along for the ride. I will hit goal weight in 2026. Don't know the date, don't know the month, don't know anything else, but I will get there. Bye guys, everything is linked down in the doobly-doo. Bye.